Hey, scrapbook friends, and welcome to episode 32 of our Theme Park Thursday series. Today's layout is based on the nighttime show from Epcot, Harmonious. I used a bunch of shimmer papers. It took me a little while to figure it out. Still not sure that it's my favorite layout ever, but it's done. It tells a story. I got some journaling in. And also I want to let you know that last week's layout was a single page layout of the topiaries. And so next to that is going to be another single page layout of the Epcot statues. I did not feel like I could count this as a episode of Theme Park Thursday because it is just like the statues layouts from the Magic Kingdom. And so I think my plan is that I will do the same basic layout, maybe mixing up the colors a little bit in the Animal Kingdom and the Hollywood Studios page as well. I'm not going to show those to you. I mean, I'll probably show them to you like this so you can see that they're done, but they're not going to get their own video because they're just exactly like the ones that I did in the Magic Kingdom page. So Harmonious, I did use the decorative trimmer, the custom cutting system, the fireworks punch, and the music staff and notes. And I don't know. This may be one that I have to live with for a while. I may end up changing something in the future, but for now it's done. It tells a story, it shows the pictures, and it's going to be episode 32. So stay tuned to see kind of how it came together and my thought process in how I made it all work. And actually, I'm going to move this because that one's that way and that one's that way, and now this one needs to be that way. So I'm going to do that, and then you guys just stay tuned and watch how this all came together just like that. All right, here you go. So here we go with our Harmonious layout. Now, Harmonious was a very short-lived nighttime show at Epcot. I looked it up before I started this video so I would have the information. It ran from October 1st, 2021 to April 2nd, 2023, but I got to see it, so yay. And it had kind of this big circular, looked like a Stargate, if you ever watched that show, Stargate. And it was kind of cool, but I guess people hated it. I have no idea why it didn't last very long, so they replaced it with something else. And I have a whole bunch of pictures, but I'm realizing like these two are basically the same. And I'm thinking I want to do something with kind of this Stargate. And I don't know if I want to do like a big single kind of circle. I just, last week did the ring from the spring medley with the topiary. So I kind of want to do that. But I want to do something with the rings. Like this is basically the same picture. I don't know about that one. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. I don't, it looks like a Viking ship or something. This one that shows it kind of by itself. Again, that's the same picture. And that's the same picture almost without this little person's head. That one's blue. Is that the same? It was a little bit prettier. Had good seats, I guess. That's about the same as that. I like the green, like that. At least they brought the torches back. All right, so I think we're gonna not use any of these pictures. So that narrows us down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, which is not unreasonable for a double page layout. I don't know how much cropping I'm gonna wanna do. I don't even know if I want to use this one. This is just maybe to remind me where I was sitting to watch, but I think I'm not going to use that. So we're down to 9. And again, I don't have my laptop downstairs with me. So I just kind of have to figure it out on my own. I think I want to use some metallic or the shimmer papers with this. I love it. I love dark colored papers for the nighttime fireworks and stuff at Epcot. I think I want like a dark blue, but I feel like I use that for the fireworks at the Magic Kingdom too, which I guess wouldn't be terrible if we kind of tied that together. So let's pull that out and look at it. All right, so here's our book where we're at. Waiting out the rain. Oh, we used this kind of purpley color and the fireworks things. I don't really want to use the same papers or the same theme, although I do like this, and there is something to be said for kind of tying things together. So maybe I do something that's kind of horizontal and has some borders at the top and bottom, but I really want to do something with that ring. So I have a whole pack of this anthracite shimmer. This is from last year, August of 2023. We did a shimmer buffet, and it's not black. It's like a dark gray shimmer. I think I want to use this. So I'll pull out a piece of black to compare. So this is the black shimmer, and it's just a little bit darker. So I think the gray will be nice, and I have some of the purples and, you know, other colors that we can maybe mix in. And I kind of want to do something maybe like with a border. I could maybe do some circles, you know, 3 circles, because I could trim these. Oh, you know, I wonder if I do something across the middle. Maybe with the decorative trimmer, we do something in there that, like we could do something that's 2 sides of the decorative trimmer with circles in the middle. That could be cool. This doesn't have a space. I guess it could go right there. I kind of am liking this idea. Maybe I'm going to cut this down a little bit, and then we can have a border that goes around and then a decorative border across the middle. I'd really like to do some rings that are like small. I've done a layout like this before in a layout class I taught several years ago. It was using Mermaid Cove. I don't think I have that layout anywhere handy to look at it for reference, but I did use the custom cutting system circles, and then that border. Okay, so I think I'm going to get out some gold shimmer to do that little border. And this is definitely a layout that I did not really spend a whole lot of time thinking about in advance. It really is all coming from just seeing this shape and figuring out how can I replicate this, you know, kind of bring that shape to the layout. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to do the gold shimmer, and then there's a paper pack. I don't know if it was an advisor exclusive. I don't know if it was in a secret box, but it was like glittery, except it was pictures of glitter. Let me see if I can find that one. Okay, so yeah, here it is. It's called Sparkle and Shine, and it's not, I mean, it's not glitter paper, but it's got all these really cool, I haven't even taken out of the package yet, all these really cool patterns. Oh, I've used this, I did use this paper for something else. I love this one. But I think maybe if I could put these, oh, I like this glittery one. Maybe I make the rings out of this and then put different, this is kind of the sequensy one. Different circles inside of that. I like the purple, but maybe I don't need the gold. Maybe the gold is not what I want. Although we had that purple Merlot shimmer. Maybe that's what I want instead of this. Is that it? Oh, that piece is too small, but maybe that one, Berry Frappe shimmer. Now I think I like this one, but do I want it to be a border? Oh, let's look at this purple paper over here. Does that go with that? Kind of goes with that, or does it go better with this one? I like it better with the Merlot. How would it be to have this as the like the outside edge, and then that double wavy piece. And then could this be the outside rings? I don't know if that could be the outside rings, but I think let's do that with the wavy trimmer and see if I can figure out kind of the sizing on how I want that. So this is the decorative trimmer, and I actually watched a video that Megan Jacks did a couple weeks ago. She had a fantastic tutorial about how to use this wavy trimmer. I learned things I didn't know, and if I can find it, I may link to it because it was amazing. Megan is so gifted at figuring out how things work and how to make them better. But what we're going to use is the swell, and I want to cut it once and then flip it and cut it the other way so we have a double-sided wavy. And I'm going to cut a practice piece first. So I'm just going to use one of my little scrap cardstocks here. And I think, gosh, I should remember how Megan had her set up because it worked. Her just place works so well. But one of the things is that this trimmer bed is 12.5 inches wide instead of 12. So if you put your paper all the way at the top, you're not going to be centered. So you want to center this. So I'm going to center this one square down on either side. And then I'm just kind of one, you know, just enough so that this is going to cut. So I'm just, whatever the closest line is to the edge of this swell, and then we're just going to cut. And because we're centered, hopefully now, when I flip this over, and I put it in the opposite way, oh, maybe I don't want that one. How big of a circle of space do I need though? I want, I want there to be a circle in there. Where'd I put my circles? Actually, I think I better cut a circle. So we can use this as a pattern. This might be too big. Might be too big to fit right here. I kind of like that. So if I put this now on, again, I'm on the, you know, centered on this little grid line, and it's touching the last square over here, which is 4.5. I hope it's straight. Oh, this might be too wide though to go between the pictures. No, it shouldn't be. All right, so we got that. I don't know if you can see the circle on here, and then I'll cut out something else. So now let's cut those from the real paper while I'm remembering how I did it. The Merlot Shimmer. And this is paper I've had from old CM. We had another Merlot Shimmer that's a little slightly different in color, but this one was black on the back. So that's how I know it's the old one. So that's gonna make it a little easier for me to make sure I'm cutting on the right side. So I'm lining it up right there with that grid line. I'm keeping it lined with this grid line right here. And then we're gonna cut down this way. And then we're gonna flip it over on the black side. And I've got it on this line right here, and it's straight right there. I'll go the other way. All right, I think that's going to be okay. That's not necessarily what I had originally planned to do when I was thinking about this. I was thinking it would be a little bit smaller, and I was thinking about maybe going down the sides. I don't know. I'm still deciding. All right, this is the cutting line. So as long as I've got that covered up, that's the square I need. One of the things I love to do when I'm cutting like two of something with a trimmer or something like this is, rather than trim it and then cut again, I just cut down both sides. Then I can save my you know, save getting out my trimmer for later. There's that 4.5 inch. Make sure that it's straight along this grid line right here. So it's centered. All right, that's a little bit too much. I want it right on that line. Right on the line. All right, hopefully that's straight, and that's what I want. Okay, we'll keep this out. And then will this be able to fit if we... Oh yeah, we can still... Oh, but I don't know if we'll be able to cut that. Oh, we could... I wanted to do that little border, but maybe if I just do 1/8 of an inch border. I mean, I guess I could just cut strips of this rather than like gutting out the paper to make the frame. I don't always like having the corners match up, but I've already got this piece cut, and so if we just cut little strips, then that probably is the way to go. So I'm going to cut this at 1 inch on either side, just because that way if I want to use it for something else, I can. And then I'm going to cut 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to just, not 16th and 8th, I'm going to just cover up the line. And one of the things I have found when I'm cutting really skinny strips, there is just enough wiggle room on this that what I like to do is to kind of pull the blade to one side and kind of make sure that it rides along that same rail all the way. And I feel like that helps me get a straighter cut. Although that one's not quite, this didn't quite line up. Yeah, we'll try that again. Yeah, see now when I've got it, it's way over here. I must have not been consistent. Okay, so now I think I got it straight. I'm going to push it over to the side and pull kind of to the left and down. So maybe that's a bad choice. Maybe that's what's making me crooked, because now that one's also crooked again. All right, we'll start over. We're just going to cut straight. No pushing to the side, just right down the middle. All right, that worked great. So ignore what I said about my little trick. Apparently I made a trick that didn't work. But I am making sure to hold my paper still and to cut in the direction that it's braced up against the this little lip of the trimmer so that it can't slide. I'm going to need 6 to go all the way around the edges. That's 4. 5. And I don't think this is not quite an 1/8. I don't know exactly what this measurement is. If you need precision measurement, scrapbooking is probably not the best hobby to be in. Okay, so I've got that. And that way I can put this, rather than having to trim my papers, I'll just put the little border all the way around the outside. And I think I'll put it on first before I stick that middle piece down. And then we'll put the rings on here. And what do we want to do? Do we want to have them be cut out of this purple? I don't think I do. I think maybe this is where I bring in the gold shimmer. Maybe I should have done the gold around the edges too. Maybe I'll do a gold stripe as well. I've never done a double stripe. That's probably kind of silly. All right, so what I want to do with this is to make rings. And when you're using the custom cutting system, we can't use the circle cutter because it won't cut rings this small. When you're using the custom cutting system, you have to cut the farthest from the template or the pattern first. And so for me, that's going to be the blue. It's always alphabetical, blue, green, red. So I'm going to cut the blue first, and then I'm going to cut the red, and that's going to give me the ring. And I'm going to need 8 of them. 8 of these rings. And it's really important that after you cut one, you don't move your little pattern, because then you won't be able to it's almost impossible to line it back up again. So we're cutting to cut rings alphabetically, regardless of which direction, inside or outside. So we cut the blue ring first. Don't let this move. And then we cut the red. Oh, that didn't work very well. Maybe my blades are getting dull. All right, but I'm going to cut 8 of these. Hopefully the next one won't be as it's like I crinkled up the paper. I don't know how that happened. What I did right there. So I think I'm going to have to cut an extra one. See if I can do better. I think I was maybe it's not the right angle. Maybe I need to be a little closer to me, even though that might be a little harder for you guys to see. So let me try this one again. Make sure both. Now this one is, I think my blade might be getting dull, because it's also having trouble. It just is kind of dragging. If it were my other, any of my other trimmers, I would absolutely say replace the blade. So I've had these a long time. But I don't have anything here with me, and I don't want to not do this on this video. All right, so we're going to just have, I'm going to try and cut in the other direction. I tend to always cut in a clockwise direction. So let's see if I now cut this one in a counterclockwise. Oh yeah, that made a huge difference. Yeah, so it must be, part of it's the paper. I mean, it's just thin paper and it's buckling a little bit. So it could be the blade, it could be, you know, user error, but it's going to be all right. There we go. I'll do clockwise and counterclockwise. Yeah, it seems to not be as bad if I go counterclockwise. But I am going to do 9 just in case I can save one of those. That is the nice thing about the circle cutter, is that it's, oh, I just went clockwise. Circle cutter has a replaceable blade, which of course these are replaceable too. And I have no idea. I've had these for years and years. They've got the old CM logo on them. I don't know if the new ones have a logo on them at all. Maybe they also have the old CM logo on them. That'll be an interesting thing to check. I should check both of them, all of them, and see. Oh no, this one says Creative Memories on it. So who knows how long I've had this one. Counterclockwise. Actually, I've heard some people say anti-clockwise. I don't know if that's like a European way of saying it. We're gonna just cut the last couple of these rings. A little tedious. And it's hard to know. I mean, I feel like last week's layout was really quick, and this one's taking a little more time. How do you decide how much time it's worth for a layout? Maybe it's just how much time you have. I mean, I'm also in my not on YouTube life, I'm working on a family reunion album. My family has a extended family reunion every 3 years. And I realized early this spring that I like to have the album from the previous reunion done in time to take to the next reunion. Well, our reunion's in July. And so I've really been scrambling, and there are about 42 of us between, my parents, their kids, spouses, grandchildren. I think this year we might even have a couple of partners of grandchildren coming. And so we all take pictures, and so it ends up being a lot. And I try to get as many pictures of each individual person as I can. Okay, I just did that one clockwise again, and it looks shabby. I'm going to do one more. So I've been doing tons of like fast to fab pages, formulas, you know, not spending a lot of time on most of those layouts. I've pulled out a bunch of pre-made layouts that I've used from, you know, project recipes or layout classes. It's going great. So I can't wait to show you that one. But I'm zooming through that scrapbook, all, you know, however 3,000 photos. So I guess it's okay if I do some that are quick and some that take a little bit longer. All right, so there are all my rings. That was a lot of talking while I cut those out. And then because I used the red and the blue, if I use the green, which is the size that comes in between these two, to cut the circles of the different patterns I want to put inside here, I think that's going to work great. So I'm going to go with the gold. And I'm going to pull out this Sparkle and Shine paper again and decide I have 8 pieces I need to cut. I definitely want one of these. And I'll do one of the blue on the back. Ooh, I could do a blue and a green because that'll get me 3. This is like a brushed gold. I don't know. It looks like wood on here. It doesn't look gold and in contrast with the real gold. But this one, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't look as metallic once you look at it with like next to the shimmer paper. I definitely want this one. This also has some of that blue. That's kind of a watery blue. It's kind of a liquid molten. That one's cool. I don't know about that one. Maybe. I don't think I want that one at all. This one looks like a white. I have a white glittery. I don't know about that one either. This is little speckles. And again, this one kind of looks like satin, but I don't know how well that's going to translate to this look. Okay, but I need 8 of them. And oh, it's a little bit hard for me to cut into these beautiful whole new papers. Even though I know I've used this before, I don't know where my other pieces are. So I'm going to cut some green blade circles. Gosh, this is pretty paper. It feels like it should be like a shampoo commercial, though. I don't know why. I don't know why my brain is going there. All right, so we'll do one green circle. And then it's going to just fit right inside. So it'll look, you know, have that that nice, you know, it fits just right. I don't have to worry about that. I just got those little ratty edges. Okay, time to order some new blades. The back is this speckle. I don't think I want this speckle. That doesn't work for me. So let's do this one. No, I wasn't going to use this one at all, was I? But I think I'm going to try this little piece right here. I think the reason I'm okay to cut these out is because I don't think that these are papers I would be likely to use as background papers. They're a bit too much. This is that molten liquid. I kind of want as much texture in it as I can get. We'll try up here. In the back are those little bubbles. I don't know about that, or the little lights. That's, you know, that's all right with the little white lights. I'll try one because I need 8. Get this one as close as we can so we get that pattern in there. That's all right. This one I really like. Maybe I'll need 2 of this one. Go like that little section right there. Another one. I feel like maybe this paper matched the secret box. All right. the last year's secret box. You know, we had one that had a 8x8 paper album in it. People weren't real thrilled about that, but the papers are pretty. Yeah, see, that one just looks like, I don't know, blonde hair, something. I don't know how I feel about that one. But how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't need to cut another one. I'm going to cut one of this purple. Oh, but I had this stuff on the back too that I liked. All right, I'm going to cut one of this purple. And purple, dark blue. I'm going to cut one more down here. I hate to cut like this and not be super frugal with my paper, but if I ever needed to, I could just cut that off and have extra pieces. I'm going to do one more. Oh, there's kind of a teal right there. Maybe I better just cut 5 of these and have more of the purple. That works. And oh, we can barely do it. Even though I'm kind of going over the edge, because this doesn't go all the way to the edge because it's green, I can cut one more. And since I'm there, I might as well cut this one right here so that I down the line have a potential for another border. All right. So there you go. That could be it's not quite straight, but you know, I could use that as a border for something. That's all right. Okay, so now I've got these. We're just going to lay it out before I stick anything down. So put all these pictures up here. So you should get 4, I mean, it's 4 inches, and this is only, okay, so it's almost 3 inches, so I should get a 1/4 inch, but I want to leave a little gap, so I can see why I felt like I should have plenty of room, but, you know, turns out you can add up to 4 inches fairly quickly. Okay, so I got these right here. I don't know how I mean, I guess I could overlap that. It doesn't matter if I overlap the little waves, or put the put it under, like, you know, tuck the waves like that. Ooh, I could do that. I could just tuck them under like this. How's that going to look on the top though? And then I would not. Then I would need. I would need a wider border. Then we cover that kid's head. That's the hardest thing about going to Disney is other people want to be there too. They block me. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. Squished down. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so now we're going to take all these little circles. Put a blue one, that blue one, a purple one, the glitter. Yeah, I probably cut more than I needed. There's that silver. There's the teal. I don't think that one. I think, I like it though. It looks, when I look at it on this camera screen, it looks less the same. In real life, I'm feeling like it blends right in, but I am going to put the gold rings. Oh, I definitely want this silver. Oh, I got that one right there. Oh, that's right. This. Maybe. I think maybe I want that one. I'll say I shouldn't have cut all of these. I cut too many. Oh, that green one. I'll put this green one instead of that green one. And they'll put the rings down over the... Oh, that gold really, really stands out though, doesn't it? Just draws your eye away from the photos. All the work I went to cut these guys out. So maybe I do need to have a gold border. I guess I could do a gold border with the little Merlot on top of it. Here's my paper. I don't think I can get if I did 1/4 inch strips, I'll have to get another piece of the gold shimmer, but I can use this as to see how I like that look of the, yeah, I don't, it's the gold is not doing it for me. I wonder if I need a different color after I cut all those darn circles. I wonder if I need a blue, like a blue Starry Night shimmer maybe. I don't know, that's a little close to the Merlot, but it might give better contrast. I just cut one. I will save those little golden rings and use them for something else if I decide not to use them. Remember several weeks ago, I guess it's been months ago now, I cut all those umbrellas out of the dark shimmer cardstock, and then I ended up not using them, but then I used them later. All right, so this one is cutting perfectly. So maybe the problem was the gold paper. Maybe it's a little bit more temperamental because this doesn't have any of those little creases. Oh yeah, I think I like it better with the blue. And maybe the anthracite is the wrong color to put this on anyway. Maybe I should put the pictures on a different color. Maybe I don't want to use white shimmer. And yet maybe I do want to use white shimmer. Okay, let me cut all these blue circles. You don't have to watch me do that. And I'm going to pull out a couple other background colors of shimmer and see what floats my boat. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this blue called Vista Shimmer. It's just a lighter blue, but it's still a shimmer. And I think what I'm going to do is I am going to put these so they tuck up under the waves, just barely. And then I'm going to trim this. And maybe I should trim it first. Maybe I'll start down here. And then I'm going to put it on probably I think I'm going to put it on the Starry Night. So there'll be a frame of this Starry Night around the pictures, and it's going to be wider on the sides and kind of narrower on the top. And then there won't be that gap. So let's see if I can figure out how to put these down. I want to be efficient about it. I don't want to be wasteful of my beautiful shimmer paper, even though apparently I've already wasted all these gold circles. So we'll see what I can do with that later. And these little stripes. I don't know if I'm going to use those either. But let's see if I can figure out what order I want these to be in, these pictures. And then I don't really want like these two together, or those two. I love this one. I think I want it to be kind of up there, that spot I've told you before, that's like where your eye is drawn. And maybe this one here. No, this one right here. Now I got these two together again, like I didn't really want, but I think that's how I want to do them. So I'm going to put these guys down first, and I'm going to try and leave about 1/4 of an inch-ish gap. Okay, now I'm going to take this, and the skinny part of the strip is just over 2 inches. So if I put these 2 inches apart, I may have to move them, but let's try putting them 2 inches apart. You know what I should do? I should measure it. So let's start over. Let's use the ruler. I'll put the ruler on here, and I put the line so it's just like the line is just before the edge of the paper. So now I know I've got, that is straight. And I'll put this on the 1/4 inch line right there. And then this is at 2 1/4, so this will be at the, no, it's not at 2 1/4, it's 1 3/4 because this is 0 centering, but I'll go put right here 2 inches apart. And then when I stick this picture down, this should hopefully be a 1/4 inch. It's a little shy of a 1/4 inch. Darn it. Oh, nobody cares. I know nobody cares. All right, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. And we're going to stick this guy down. I need that side so that I have the measurements. Put this at a 1/4 inch from there. Okay, so that's right here at the 11 inch line. So is that an inch? Okay, so that's an inch away, so that'll make this a little bit easier for me to put this down. This line is just off the edge on this side. And I can see I didn't quite get at the 1/4 inch. I was a little bit off, so that's what happened here. And then, those didn't quite line up, did they? Well, maybe they did. Okay, that lined up. So then if I put this down, oh yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna work just right. Just right. It looks crooked to me, but I don't know that it is. Maybe this is crooked. Okay, so we'll do that after we trim this down. So now I want to cut this one. This is an inch. This is, I got 1 3/4 here, but I only want to have a 1/4 inch. So I want to cut off 1.5 inches because that would be 1.5 inches. All right, 1.5 inches there and 3/4 in this direction. I love to cut 1.5 inches because that's one that I can cut on this side. Inch and a half that way, and 3/4 inch in this direction. Actually, it's looking like it's time to change my mat right about here. It's looking really, really ratty. So let's do that. I seem to always do that right here in the middle of a video, but oh, I love the way it feels once I've changed my mat. All right, so the next one, I think I'm just going to cut the paper first because I already know it's what the sizing is going to be. So I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off of here, and then 3/4 inch. Oh my gosh, it's so much nicer to cut with the new mat. If your trimmer is not making you happy, try changing your mat. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing right here. This will be a little bit easier because I don't have a full paper. Oh, I want to go that way. I want to go onto the line, and I don't want that one at the top and this one at the bottom. So that's the one, so it goes to right there. Yeah, that worked out okay. We'll do the same thing on this side. And if all goes well, then they should line up easily. Want that one up there. Okay. That didn't quite line up. Uh-oh. And now I see that that's not straight, but the picture still seems to be straight, so that one lined up. That feels a little bit wider right there, but I don't think it is. All right, so now we decide, oh, I was gonna put it on this Starry Night, right? I was thinking about the anthracite again, just because I have it already out. Do I want it on this anthracite, or do I want it on the Starry Night? I think I'm gonna use the anthracite just because I have it and it brings out that black. But I don't want to cover up all of this paper behind another piece of paper. So I'm gonna cut a C-shaped frame just to spare the bulk and give me some, save some of my precious paper. So I'm gonna cut it at 2 inches. So I'm putting my paper at 2 inches. I'm going to start from the end. I'm going to put my the line on my housing. I want it to be on the 10. And since I know this is 1 inch between the line and the edge, I'm going to put the edge of my blue housing right at 11 and cut up. And then I flip it over. And again, I'm going to start from where I'm cutting. And then the last piece of the C, I will turn this way, and then I'm just going to cut between the lines, and I can see them on this side, so I line up the white line here and the white line there, but I also can use the numbers on the ruler. All right, so there's my C-shaped frame. I'm going to cut 2 of them. I'm not brave enough to cut 2 at the same time. In theory, you could just cut 2 of them, but then if you slip, you've messed up 2 pieces of paper and not just 1. All right, so 2 inches. I'm up 2 inches from the bottom. And then I turn it and put this on again at 2 inches. One of my favorite things to do is how easy it is to cut like a frame like this. All right, so now I've got these pieces I can use for some other future project. But I do want to use my my Creative Memories 13-inch mat to now stick my stuff down, because I love these grids. I've got this self-healing mat on my workspace, although it is getting really ratty looking. I've got this on here, but this is going to make sure that everything is straight. Now I'm only going to do one of them using this mat. The other one I'm going to use the first one. I'll match it. Match it up to its partner. So now I decide if I want it centered. I kind of, because this was 1.5 inches, we have it 3/4 of an inch all the way around. Perfect, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say sometimes you might wanna do like a little bit off center so that it's a little bit taller at the top and bottom, but because this worked out perfectly, I'm going to just go with that. So I'm only putting adhesive where it's going to touch. So this inside edge right here is not going to have any adhesive because it's just going to be floating. All right, so this is on here. And now I know that this needs to be at the 3/4 of an inch mark, which is right here and right there. Making sure that it's straight right here along this edge. I want this whole edge to be straight. And then I have my perfectly centered piece. And while I've got this mat out, I think I'm going to stick this down because I am going to go all the way off the edge on this one. I only have about 8 pieces left, I think, of this old CM Merlot Shimmer single-sided. So glad that they were able to find a supplier for that again. All right, so I don't quite know. Oh, remember I was so careful to match the spacing. Oh, I guess I wasn't careful to match the spacing in the middle, but still. So that's like right at 5 and 3/16 right there. Oh, but I can see a smidge of light blue, so I'm just gonna nudge it up a hair. But that's like right above these lines, so it looks pretty centered to me. And then I will pull out the other side and just position it up against this one. I probably need to stop and take time to clean off my workspace, but I haven't done that. All right, so this one I want to have around this way. So this technique of cutting out either an open frame if you're doing a single page, or a C-shaped frame if you're trying to do a double page, not only does it help you save paper, but it makes your albums less bulky. You know, they get so thick, and we fill them up with so much stuff that they get heavy. Paper is heavy. My heaviest, you know, when Creative Memories has a cardstock buffet or something like that, the heaviest boxes I have are not albums, and sometimes they're not even tools, because I don't order as many, you know, you don't order as many tools all at once. But when I've got a bunch of cardstock, boy, that gets heavy. Okay, there we go with that. And now we're going to put our little circly guys, which I moved out of the way, which is probably not very smart. Find them again. I do like this one, and I like that one. I like kind of like that over by it's on the side where it's a little bit you know, kind of draws your eye. Do I want that one? Do I need another like light one? This one is really kind of stands out a lot, and so maybe I do need that glitter one instead of putting this one twice or that. I think I'm going to do it like this. So I've used this one twice, but that's the only one. So I could perhaps use the green glitter. Instead of using that one twice, having all the different colors. What do you think? I don't think I got that one already. I don't think I want this one with the little white circles. I think I'm gonna just do this. And then I'm just gonna try and have them centered as best I can within this little wavy. And this one has to kind of go close to the side because in order to fit between the little swell edges. I'm trying to think now what I can use for a title and where I can put the title. I don't really want to put it across the middle. I wish I had some music notes. You know, we had that music staff border punch, but I just want the notes, and I do not want to have to cut them out of that. I guess I could do the fireworks. Maybe the fireworks would be cute on here. I don't know. I feel like it needs something else. Oh, you know, we used to have a Border Maker cartridge that had music notes. I bet I could use that. All right, and then these little circles are going to go on all the way across. Oh boy, I kind of want the music notes now before I stick all this down. What if I did the music notes kind of in this blue, or the music staff going across? Okay, this one feels a little too close to that side. All right, am I one short? I know I cut 8. Cleaned up my workspace, and now I can't find anything. Okay, I'm going to, see, I want to scoot that guy over too. I'm going to go find my music notes, the staff. I think that's what I want to do, is I want to put this behind it. And I think that's gonna fix this for me. I don't love this close together, but you remember when it's in your Creative Memories album, they're about 3/4 of an inch apart. So it's gonna match. It's gonna flow okay. I'm gonna cut one more of these, or find the one that I already cut. Maybe it's on the floor. And yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back to finish this after I find the. I might have to actually run over to my studio to get that music notes punch. I don't know that it's here at home. And yeah, that's going to work. I'm excited. That's exactly what I needed, what I wanted, was to have the music or something in there. And maybe the music bars and the fireworks punch together. Okay. Yeah. You won't even know. I'll be back momentarily for you. But for me, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I've actually gone off to dinner and done a load of laundry and a bunch of things, but I'm back and I have the music notes and staff border punch, and I'm going to punch some strips of the same Starry Night shimmer and insert it in there, and I'm going to try and kind of mix it up so some have the treble clef and some have notes. And then I might actually also incorporate some of the fireworks. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to wait and see how that works out. But I love this one. I have a lot of musical things to scrapbook. My daughter was in choir, and so that was like all her school picture things. All her extracurriculars involve music somehow. So, and we love concerts and theater, Broadway shows, stuff like that. So this is a great one for me. I'm going to go and cut 2 rows of it. It's going to be more than I need because that's going to give me 5 segments, and I don't think I need 5 segments, but hopefully this will give me some room to play with it. And of course, the border punches aren't quite as simple to use as the border maker, because you do have to line them up yourself, but it's not hard. All right, so I'm done with those. So I think I'm just going to take the circle, just put a couple, like this one I'm going to do first right here on this treble clef. Maybe I'll only do 4 right now and see kind of what how it works out. Like this one I really like with the music notes, and the treble clef doesn't really show up. I've covered it up. That one's just the treble clef, but I mean all the notes are the same, which I kind of don't love, because that would be a very boring song. But of course, to make a border cartridge, you need it to be repeatable, a repeatable design. So I only got 3 on there because I wanted that. Oh, I'm going to talk about the microtip scissors for a minute. I've had several customers recently come to me with their case stuck on the scissors, and I just want to remind you, the microtip scissors has a larger button on one side and a smaller button on the other. And it looks like the smaller button should line up with this hole, but it's tricking you. If you look in here, you'll see that one side is smaller and one side is bigger, and the side with the hole in it is bigger. So when you put your microtip scissors away, the big button is the one that needs to line up with this hole. And if you accidentally put it in the wrong way and you can't get it out, just kind of pinch it like this, and it hopefully will loosen it up enough for you to get it out. Otherwise, you'll just have to come see me. All right, now I'm just gonna trim back here. I could just trim right along the edge, but I want to trim under a little bit. And my repositional adhesive isn't exactly straight. It's kind of up there and not necessarily down here. So maybe that wasn't the best way to do this. But it's a little fiddly to trim these pieces now. I guess I could just trim it like this. Oh, there. That's way easier. Okay. Like that one's okay because it's got the lighter, but these are just, it's a bit too much. So maybe I want this with the fireworks, which we've used on several pages already. Do I want to mix the music notes and the fireworks? Do I want to have different color fireworks? I don't know. You know, I kind of like this, where it's music, fireworks, music, fireworks. Maybe I'll do that. And that way I'll only need one more music. Wonder if I could trim it so that it looked like it was a different configuration of notes. Like if I cut these little eighth notes in half. Guess I didn't need to do that. And then you just got like those little 3 notes, which isn't the same as having 8. We'll see if that can work. I think that's what we're gonna do right there. Uh-oh, I'm short one ring. Oh, I know they're all here. Picked things up to move them. All right, let me find those, or find that other ring and be back. Okay, I think this is what we're gonna do. I kind of wish I was doing colors and making this a little bit more exciting in here, like pulling in some of the pink and the green. Ugh. But then again, that pulls the attention away from my photos. Already it's kind of pulling away from them. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick these down, and I think I'm gonna put the fireworks on a foam square, and then we'll go from there. I have an idea already for the title. I've actually started prepping something for that. I'm gonna put this at a little bit of an angle on purpose. Needs a foam square. Okay, there we go. So when I was away earlier, before I came back on the video, I thought about what I wanted to use for title letter, and I just remembered that I really need to do some journaling about this, and maybe that's just going to have to be like in a metallic fine tip around the edges. And I don't have the metallic fine tip. I talked about this before. The dual, or the dot tip metallic has a super fine tip, but the regular metallic has like a brush tip. So this is the regular gold metallic, and it looks just like the regular with the round tip and the fine tip. But if you look at these, see, so it looks the same. Well, it's a little bit different, but it looks the same. But if you open up these fine tip sides, you can see that those are not the same. This brush tip is a lot wider, and you just, it works like a brush. It's just a thick line, as opposed to the, you know, the really, really thin line right here. So that's not what I want to journal with. But the dot tip pens, and I keep thinking I've brought them home, but apparently I haven't. So I may have to journal this one later. I don't like to do that. I like to have these all finished. But I need to decide if I want to do something with these little strips that I cut out. Since I cut them out, I know myself, and if I don't do something with them now, I'm afraid that they will just end up in the trash. And I hate to do that with, you know, pieces of metallic or shimmer paper. It's not metallic, but pieces of shimmer paper. I kind of want to put the little frame around it. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll tuck it under here. And then while I was away, I got out my white sticker letters and I colored it with the purple metallic pen, but then I took the shimmer pen and colored over the top of it, hoping it would dry so it would look, you know, awesome, and it actually looks kind of terrible. So I don't know that I want to use this, because what happened was when I colored with this, it kind of took the ink off and it just made it worse. So it didn't make it shimmery. When it's wet, it's a little shimmery, but look how it like lifted up the ink and got on my brush tip. This is the clear brush tip. So I thought I had this brilliant plan, and now I don't. And maybe I need, maybe I just need to use the little letters, Harmonious, and then I could journal in white. Oh, I could use the white journal pen, or this is a chalking pen. I don't want I want my non-CM jelly roll pen, and I like the 0.8. Maybe I will write Harmonious over here and then journal. But if I do that, I don't know if I want these little lines. Do I want the lines on the outside edge? I don't know if I do. I want to cut them out, so I hate to not use them. Okay, I'm going to put these down, and I'm going to find my little sticker letters, and then we'll figure out what we're doing next. Okay, I stuck the little border pieces down, and I think I'm going to take these little mini, they're called sans serif, and you can see I tried to color on these once. It didn't work very well. So I think I'm just going to write Harmonious here, and then I'm going to journal kind of around with this white gel pen, although the white might be too much. I think it's going to be all right. The white's going to be okay because I'm using the white letters. And in order to get this to fit right, I'm going to write it backwards, which means I've got to write it down. Oh, here's my little card from my photo box. So I have the spelling in there. So I'm just going to write all caps, Harmonious. I think this is like the wrong. Oh, if it's right exactly between those. So I think I'm done. I don't love it. I kind of feel like it needs a little bit more. I do like having this kind of black white space. I've talked about white space before, which is why even though it's black, I do still call it white space. I just wrote the name Harmonious, and then I said Harmonious is the new nighttime show at Epcot. Replaced Epcot Forever on 10/1/2021, and Epcot Forever had replaced the long-running Illuminations on 10/1/2019. Then down here I said change is hard, especially for Nicole, who loved Illuminations, and sadly for Harmonious fans, this show would end just 18 months later on 4/2/2023. I don't usually write my dates like that because I know like Europeans are the other way, but I didn't have room to write October 1st twice, or April 2nd. Then over here, I said we never figured out the storyline / theme of the show, but the huge metal ring looked like it came from the sci-fi show Stargate. So hopefully when these are in an album, people will see that these, like, this isn't a continuation over here. This is one phrase and that's one phrase. Not my favorite. I think it may grow on me. This may be one of those things that I, again, come back and decide I need to add something too, but it looked so much better in my head. I do like how like this worked out okay. I don't love it. I think because it's hard to see the contrast between some of these. I like it on these two, on that one. And so maybe the answer is that I should come back and use these, use these lighter colors instead of the, instead of that purple. I mean, that wouldn't be hard for me to do. I could just pop this out. Yeah, but see, then it draws your eyes more to this, and I want it to kind of be an accent and not the main theme of the layout. So back we go. I think people will be able to see it. It's fine. It's all fine. It's fireworks and music. And we have one more, maybe two, maybe a double page and a single page. I think we're going to have to do, I'm going to have to go into, I don't know, Animal Kingdom. I don't want to do Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is going to be a whole nother pack of pages, and I don't want that many. So I think we might just be ending right here, which is not really, I don't know. I like to put more pages than this in a book, but I'd rather have too few than too many. So we'll see. And I haven't stuck anything down. They're all just tucked in behind the page protectors, so I can always rearrange them later if I can manage to not work chronologically. So I will see you next week, next Thursday, with another edition of Theme Park Thursday. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and happy scrapbooking.